I've heard, I haven't been a part of this. I've heard of games in Miami and LA where the girls are making 10, 20,000 in a game, but then the game runners will heavy tax. So in games like that, the game runners might take 50%, 60%, 80%. They tax whatever they want because the girls are making an insane amount of money.
They tax
Yeah.
their tips?
Yeah. Welcome back to our IMDb podcast where we discuss shows, streaming services.
Look, we can talk about other things besides poker, and
I don't know any other
wrap
things.
it in a veil of irony. You know,
I don't know anything
You know
else.
Harry Potter. You got a Harry Potter mug right there.
I
That's on HBO Max.
I used to be called Potter.
I know. I found, dude, when your friends were here and they were calling you
My
Potter,
Florida friends,
I
yeah.
hated that they called you Potter.
They can't. They'll never stop. It was Potter for 10 years in Florida. Potter. I looked like Harry Potter when I was young.
Dude, I mean,
now I look homeless.
Facial hair changes a man. And I was even looking back at the podcast that we did like a year and a half ago that the three of us did together, actually. And
I looked like a child.
Yeah, dude, you look so different.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a guy that needs to be strong, covered in tattoos and with facial hair, or you look like a bitch.
Thank you.
It's
let's look. You look 12.
No, I don't. I look the same.
You look like a pedophile.
You look young as hell.
Or you
Joe,
look like
with the long hair.
You look like a pedophile's wet dream.
Fuck you guys.
All right, when does Joe stop talking?
Never.
JC's just hating my introduction. Just look at him, just like,
look at.
Jesus.
I'm glowing.
What
Wow,
fresh
you do
out
look
of the womb.
young as hell.
Fresh out of the womb.
You're like, what a horrible question that was.
This is my first podcast ever.
Is this the first one or the second one that we did?
I think this was the first.
It's just 1 year ago. How to actually make money playing with poker, and it's the one that got like pretty good views.
First ever, yeah.
Yeah, this one went kind of crazy.
I remember being really nervous.
Why were you nervous?
I've never been on camera besides some live stream poker games. And you know, like it takes getting used to.
Definitely takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a while where before I was doing my pod, and kind of, I think I was just like not doing well for the first 2 years that I moved here, genuinely.
Yeah.
And I did some podcast appearances that were just rough. I mean, dude, the first time I did Dylan Carlino's pod, Some of This Is Bad, we had to scrap it, threw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Because I just showed up and was just like freaking out the whole time, and I was getting really annoyed.
In your head.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's easy to get in your own way. I mean, I'm a textbook overthinker.
I was a dick to you last episode, and I should have. I mean, it was a horrible question. Do you ever three bet raise bluff or 3-bet bluff? That was the way you phrased it, and it was terrible. But I could have been nicer.
You could be nicer.
I could have been nicer,
okay.
and I apologize. And I should have answered it as you should be 3-betting very frequently. And some hands are going to be light and some hands are going to be strong.
Wow.
But they're not really bluffs till you see what happens, you know, like post flop.
Yeah. Well, when we went over that last week,
I was just annoyed with the question. I was like, what the fuck is this question?
If it makes you feel better, I was going to edit that out of the last episode, make you look like a real good guy. But now I just put notes to put it back
Leave
in.
it in, Brandon.
We just referenced
Leave
it, so
it
it's
in.
got to stay in.
I mean,
you're going to look like a great guy. You're going to look like Joe said something dumb and then rephrased himself because he said it dumb. It was going to look like you learned on your own, too. It's going to be a beautiful moment.
You ever 3-bet bluff? Okay.
What is the term for it?
So 3-betting is if somebody raises pre-flop and you raise them. That's a 3-bet.
I thought a 3-bet was... Can I tell you what I thought it was?
Sure.
Okay. So in any situation, I bet, you raise, and then I re-raise.
That's also a 3-bet.
Okay.
That's that's on the flop. So you need to understand that the big blind is the first bet. So when you raise, that's the second bet.
Oh, the blind is the first bet.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it's technically a 4-bet.
No.
If you...
The blind is the big blind is the first bet.
No, I'm saying, okay,
So
if we're sitting at a table, okay,
I could explain this to you.
or I could tell you what my bad understanding of this is.
Okay.
Three of us are sitting at a table. The blind goes out. Okay. I sit down. I raise. When you bet, that's a 3 bet. If
I raise, your raise.
re-raise again, and then if I re-raise that, that's a 4 bet.
Yes.
Understood.
Yes.
Amazing.
Okay.
Wow.
We're a year into
Guys,
the poker
and that's the podcast.
We're a year into the poker.
It's been an honor and a privilege. This has been the T1K Pod.
where we just learned what a 3 bet and 4 bet is. The few people that watch are like, can you get someone that knows poker on this podcast?
You and Maddie can fucking have your own podcast and talk about your latent autism, okay? You guys can fucking figure it out.
So then on the flop, if I don't get a new stand, this thing like gradually falls over the course of the episode.
Where do we want to jump back into this?
Let's leave the wrench stuff in, dude. I love talking wrenches.
Are we talking? Okay, I'll check out the wrench talk.
Because I do want to.
I didn't listen to any of that.
All right, well, let's. Okay.
All right.
All right, we're jumping back in
Dude.
now.
Oh my God. Yeah. For the podcast listeners, you just missed about 6 minutes on hex wrenches. And
does that mean I'm not autistic? Because I couldn't hear anything you said when you started talking about wrenches.
Different autists focus on different things.
It was actually like impressively autistic that like something you didn't like came up and you were just like, boop, and turned off. That was.
I did turn off.
Yeah, you powered down. You're like, this isn't for me. I'm not a hex wrench guy.
Where'd you go? What were you thinking about when we were talking about wrenches?
I was thinking about private game stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Private game etiquette and stuff.
I
have there's a player in town that is trying to mend a relationship with me, and I think I'm just over it.
Let's get into it, dude, because a couple clips, Instagram and YouTube and all these things, when we post clips, are always kind of mind-bending to me, which ones are going to go crazy and which ones aren't. And one that I was genuinely surprised to see kind of take off was us talking about private game tipping culture and like why it's important to tip dealers. And
we just post that?
We posted another one before that where like, what are the tips like in private games?
Oh, yeah. That one popped off?
Yeah, and people really dug that. I think because it's not just etiquette. It's like, why are people showing up to these games to deal? Why are people being waitresses at these games? And etiquette tipping is like, I think something people are kind of curious about. Like, what does a dealer at a private game walk home making? You know, what does versus somebody dealing blackjack at the MGM in Springfield?
Yeah, I mean, every game's different, and the stakes are different, right? So like you have smaller stakes, low stakes private games that the dealers are. It's like working at like a more entry level restaurant, you know, like a Olive Garden or something, where the waiters are going to go home with a few $100, and then the dealers are going to make, you know, $300-400 maybe, and then the higher stakes you go, and the more exclusive games, the dealers, some of the games that I've been a part of or witnessed, you know, a slow night is going to be $700-800 for a dealer, and then like a standard night's probably going to be over 1,000, and a great night's going to be 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. I've seen crazy nights where dealers make $3 or $4 grand.
Wow.
Those are like the kind of the cap, I would say. The highest I've seen. So yeah, I'd say on average like, you know, $1,500, maybe $1,200.
So there are poker dealers,
but that's the higher stakes stuff
that are running around the country right now that are making like a Google software engineer salary.
Not a lot, but yeah, there's a few. There's a few elite dealers that typically, I mean, if you're an attractive girl and you're a really strong dealer, you're going to get a lot of offers for private games around the country or worldwide. And you're going to make a great living. But yeah, it's a full career, as we talked about. And then yeah, the game girls, again, it depends on the size of the game, how high stakes they're playing. But I've heard, I haven't been a part of this, I've heard of games in Miami and LA where the girls are making 10, 20,000 in a game, but then the game runners will heavy tax. So in games like that, the game runners might take 50%, 60%, 80%. They tax whatever they want because the girls are making an insane amount of money.
They tax their tips?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's fucked up.
Well, no, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's
all
not.
right, explain.
Okay, if you have an attractive lady that comes into your, like, let's say LA, you hire like some models and they're used to getting paid, you know, like a few grand for an appearance or a few grand for a day gig, right? And then you're running like the highest stakes game and you have millionaires, billionaires at the game that are just tipping these girls like crazy, like $1,000 chips, $5K chip, you know, because they're trying to show off. Do you think that girl just earned like 40 grand or 30 grand to just stand there and look pretty? And like, you can, no, like you rented the house, or it's your setup, it's your table, it's your chairs, you organize the game, you know, so like as the game runner, you can tax. Like,
I guess like it's because I'm coming from a perspective of like, you know, working at the F1 track or like bartending. And in those situations, the house has, you know,
how much?
Hold on, the house has operational expenses.
Yeah.
And then whatever they make minus the expenses is how much they take home. And then the tips are 15 to 20%, right? And then so the tips go to the people working, and that's sort of their salary. And then the profit goes to the owner of the business, and that's the way it works. I guess it's different for poker because the skew of like how much the tips are coming in versus how much the game runner is in is dramatically different than it would be in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because like you can probably charge an hourly for somebody being there. You can play the game, make money that way. And then
there's just, it's also just like what exactly did you do to earn, you know, $30,000?
Look, being hot is a legit skill set. It's not everybody has it.
But but the thing is if you, as you know, the game runner, if you tax a girl 80% and she still made $8 grand, do you think she's gonna not come the next week?
Yeah.
She made 8,000 or 5,000 in a night or 6,000, you know, whatever it is. That's insane money. But yeah, what I've heard is in these high stakes private games in big cities, big famous cities like LA and Miami, they hire girls like straight from the club. So like strip clubs. You bring, you know, like an erotic dancer in, and you have this super wealthy guy that falls in love and just tips her 20 grand as the host. Like, you're going to take a lot of that.
Yeah.
You're not just going to like, oh yeah, thanks for coming. Here's 20K.
I bet you it's
because they're still going to come back if they made 5.
I bet it does really need to get swept under the rug, like what the rake is for the table runner, the people running the game, right? Like what the tax is, because number one question that I get asked when I'm slinging beers is, does the tips go directly to you?
Yeah, I asked that.
And I go, yes. And if they go, and then usually they'll tip 20% after that question, or they'll throw me like something super generous. If people knew that there was an 80% tax on, you know, game girls or poker dealers, I think they're going.
It all varies, you know.
Yeah.
It's I think it's probably up to discretion of the host.
Yeah, this is sort of a niche topic, but I guess last question on this, because we do need to circle back to the guy that you were talking about with the etiquette at the private games. We're talking like super. It seems like it's fairly obvious what the pipeline looks like for like a game girl, right? But let's say that you are a really, really good poker dealer, right? Like you're working at a casino, and you're just like fun to hang out with. People like sitting at your table. Mm-hmm. You're very charismatic. So people keep coming back to play, like let's say blackjack or poker with you, and people enjoy your company and they think you're a great guy. What does it look like to like sort of graduate to the next level, besides from like being a basic floor dealer to like actually getting into some of these private game scenes? How do you get discovered? Is it like comedy or like being a game girl?
Yeah, you get discovered based off of your strength as a dealer, and then your charisma, and then if you're a girl, sometimes looks. If the looks match the skill set.
I think looks matter for men too, and people don't really discuss that.
I think it's more about dealing, your skill set, your strength.
Because brief tangent here.
Yeah.
We're recruiting for Live Bait right now, my dating show. And there's a plethora of hot girls that apply to be on the show. It's crazy. And we're having trouble finding guys that check all the boxes to be on the show. And, because like girls are picky, right? This one guy applies, and he's super handsome and he's ripped, but he's 23 and he's a cop. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't really set him up with the 25-year-old girl. They're not really into that.
The 25-year-old woke girls aren't into it.
They don't want to date that. Women are very picky when it comes to these things. So what's actually happening is there's a guy that's like recruited.
Guy's putting his life on the line.
Yeah, they're not into it. And so it's weird. Like I have to sort of step around the questions with things like, are there any occupations that are out that you wouldn't do?
Gambling is probably one of them.
Gambling's up there.
Yeah.
Comedy, I would imagine, is on the list too.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where I was almost cast on an NBC show last year called Destination X. I made it to the final round of casting and got cut by the NBC executives. I talked to the guy that recruited me to be on the show, and I hit him up yesterday, and I'm like, hey man, I am like struggling to find guys to be on the show. And he just replies, he goes, I'm going to set you up with the Love is Blind casting director. We're going to talk, but just so you know, single attractive guys are the hardest to find in this. Because like hot women that want to be influencers are all over the place. Hot guys that are very public are a little bit harder to find, I guess. But that's a total tangent. Let's do the poker dealer pipeline question, then let's talk about the guy with bad etiquette.
No, I think the main thing, if you're a dealer and you're listening to this, like your skill level and ability to talk at the table have to match. Like if you're talking at like engaging in conversation with the players or responding to questions and trying to be social while you're dealing, you better be perfect. Like you better not make a mistake, and you better not slow down. Like the game cannot slow down, because that's like the biggest pet peeve.
It's a great point. It's like a chatty bartender when you're trying to get a drink
who's like having trouble mixing the drink.
Like you're trying to order a $50 cocktail and I'm yapping to Brandon.
Yeah, that it's the biggest pet peeve. Like you're working, and if you're not proficient at your job, then like no one can get mad at you if you're trying really hard and you're focusing. And you're just, you're working on your skill and you're getting better, but like there's clearly some mistakes. But if you're dealing a slow game and you're chatty and you're talking,
you're done.
You're like, no.
It's over.
Like what are we doing here? Like you're slowing the game down and you're talking about, your favorite singer or like what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't talk and make mistakes. Now the best dealers can have multiple conversations, deal the cards perfectly, follow the action. Their ability to multitask is insane. And I've been a part of games where I'm just blown away by dealers. Like they'll be having 2 conversations and just dealing a perfectly, run poker game. It's very impressive.
It's extremely challenging. Yeah.
Yeah. They're excellent multitaskers, but until your mechanics and your ability to deal is 10 out of 10, you should not be talking. And you should not be responding or interjecting yourself in conversation. You should be silent and focusing on dealing the best cards you can. And then once your skill set is extremely high and you have full control, then you can multitask and conversate.
Okay. Nice. And how would like a private game runner find a good dealer? Like where
you go to poker rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll go somewhere and they'll be like, that guy was awesome. I'm
go to
other
other private games. You have to be careful with that. Like, always if you're running a home game and you're at someone else's home game, the game runner is going to be like, oh, I know that guy runs the game. And you don't ever want to be the guy like that's poaching. You just, if you're running a game and you're at someone else's game, you ask the game runner after the game, hey, I could use some help dealing. Would your dealer ever be open to more work? I run a game on a different day.
Yeah.
You just be respectful.
You don't go professional.
Yeah. Don't ever go around people's backs or try to get like the waitress's number. Like, oh, come work my game. Like that's a disaster. Yeah. You're going to rub the game runner the wrong way. Just be transparent. Be like, I could use some help at my spot. Are your people available? And would you mind if I gave them more work? And then the game runner is going to feel completely, comfortable in knowing that you're not trying to go steal his people.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Do we have some questions?
Oh, but first, the whole reason all this got brought up is because you were talking about a guy that had sort of bad etiquette at like private games. You're thinking about cutting ties with.
No, this was an old scenario that I was dealing with. Dealing with a situation for years, and just ran out of rope with someone, and eventually you just have to cut ties with people that aren't willing to change or don't change.
What were the issues with the person? Was he just
really obnoxious when winning, really sore loser, ruin people's time when he would have a bad night, would leave early if he was winning, just stuff like just pretty much like at every not a great tipper, just pretty much every box, every red flag for a private game would berate people at the table for their play.
Really?
Yeah, just really bad energy.
Yeah, so it seems really like it's not
energy.
even worth if that's sort of the base that the person's coming with, unless it's Jerry Buss showing up at a poker game and wailing out, and everybody's like, "This is great."
Exactly. Like all this energy was coming from a person that won in the game, that was winning in the game.
Crazy.
It's like you just can't.
Yeah.
You can deal with some negative energy if the guy is funding the game, but like if you're a winner, you have to bring something to the game.
Good point. All right. We are back to the questions for the week, and we're going to just rip it off the top. If you've got any, you know what to do. The link is in the description. We really do appreciate the questions, and we got a bunch of them today, so keep them coming. From the Texas Assassin. By the way, I think this question is unbelievable because it's one that I've thought about a lot, and I was wondering about what are the standard rules for being backed these days. The old rounders deal, shout out Brian Koppelman, of 50% of your winnings, and if you lose, it's on me, do not seem realistic.
Yeah, I mean the standard is 50-50 with makeup. Do you know what makeup is? No. Okay, so let's say I start backing you in your private game, and I put up all the money, and I have 50% of your profit plus makeup. So plus makeup means, let's say you go to the first game and you lose $1,000. All right, so you're down 1,000, and you go to the next game the following week and you win $10,000.
That 1K comes off the top.
Exactly. That 1K needs to come back to me, and then now there's 9,000 in profit that we can split 50-50. So it's 4,500 each. You don't just get half of the win. You have to make up your losses too.
Okay, so another example of this would be just me and you go out. Let's say in a hypothetical situation, you back me for $1,000 game. I lose completely. On the next game, I double up. That money just gets returned to you.
Yeah, if you win 1,000 the next week, you're now even. And now you're eligible for profit share, but you have to be in profit to have profit share. And so what happens a lot of times, backers, it really rarely works out well for backers in this industry. People typically don't play well with others' money. You can play looser. You don't, you can misreport. There's like a lot of ways to cheat your backer.
Well, yeah. When you backed me the other night,
you could have just told me you lost.
It could have been very easy. There's no accounting.
Hey, JC, I lost. Yeah.
Yeah. So or I could have won more than $140.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I won $240.
Yeah, maybe you
son of a bitch.
Maybe you misreported. Now you have to live with that on your conscience.
Yeah, well, I don't have to live with it because I didn't do it. But the whole idea of like backing people, my understanding of it, and this is sort of the way that I thought that it worked, was I thought it was less so like somebody's putting up all the money, and it was more so like, okay, hey, I'm trying to play in a game where there's $100,000 buy-in. Will you cover $50K and then you get 50% of the profits?
That's taking a piece. That's buying a piece, and that's
okay.
That's
I didn't know these were different things.
Yeah, that's how me and my friends do it. It's much safer, and I think it's more fair for everyone if you just sell pieces. The backing deal is way more incentivized towards the player because they don't have to put up anything.
Yeah, 100%. Like I thought it was kind of a kindness.
Yeah. In turn, so yeah, I guess the standard is 50-50, but you're rarely going to find that deal now.
So I
especially
think this is actually
in tournaments, you the backer can kind of name their price. Like, hey, I'll put you in this tournament, but I'm going to take 80% and give you a 20% free roll. That happens all the time. It just depends.
That seems like a perfectly fair deal.
Yeah. Yeah. You're free rolling the person. They can't lose.
Yeah.
So you can take as much as you want.
I actually think that this is something that I didn't understand, that there was a difference between backing someone and taking a piece.
A backing deal is like more of like a longer planned contract kind of thing. But the majority always end up in makeup, a lot of makeup. So it's like you're buried in 20, 30K makeup. And you're trying to climb out. You're trying to get back to even to make yourself and your backer profit.
So what's going to stop these guys from just finding a different backer?
Well, as the player, you're obligated to the backer until you're out of makeup. So once you get stuck, like if you're down, you can't. I mean, you could just skip to another backer, but then that's really bad etiquette, and your reputation is going to get tainted. If you're losing money for a guy that's putting you in the game, your obligation is to stick with that backer until you're profitable or until he cuts you. So the backer can at any point just be like, I'm done. You're free to do whatever you want.
I'm done cutting you.
I'm done supporting you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at some point it might seem like to the backer where they're like, hey, yeah, I'm kind of incentivized to have this guy only working with me because I don't want him winning for somebody else. But it's like, if this person's just losing over and over again and he's digging himself further in the hole, I don't want a piece of that hole anymore.
Well, what happens, it's a messy situation, because what happens is a lot of times these players don't have any money for their life, their bills, they're broke. And so the backer ends up paying for their rent and their food. And it's like, and the players, taking this money out of the poker bankroll and using it to live. It's a messy situation.
So
as a player, you should stay away from backing for the most part, and then just buy pieces.
This is a dark,
short-term deals.
Dark question, but How do you deal with like that piece of the industry being there and like knowing like just the terrible things that are happening to people?
It's in every industry. Yeah. It's in golf. It's in baseball, basketball. It's like
but there's levels to it for sure. Where the gambling one.
I mean, golf is brutal.
I get it, but the difference, I guess, being right, like with a poker player, somebody, gets a backer, gets down deep, loses everything, or somebody that's placing bets on a book, gets down deep, ends up getting in a pretty dark situation. There's that versus golf is same with stand up. There's only a few people making money. It's maybe 0.1% of the industry. And then everybody else kind of hangs on. I guess the difference being in gambling, the losers kind of fund the winners, right? And that's not really the case with golf. In golf, sponsors, TV deals fund the winners. So how does it is that something that you ever think about? Does it ever fuck with your head, or is it just like,
No, I mean, I've spent years and years and years on the other side, being the loser. Mm-hmm. So I've put in so much work to become profitable.
Yeah.
And have had, even in Texas, I was driving home last night after I played a buddy's game and I lost like $6,000. Mm-hmm. And obviously like that loss doesn't faze me. And I was driving home and I was thinking about the first year I was here, and after a big loss, like a 20 or 30K loss, like how much stress it would put on me mentally. And the drive home was like so challenging, and I was just having to fight just these huge mental battles all the time. And how much resilience you have to have, and like belief in yourself. I've been through so much of that throughout the last decade, that I've earned, like I truly feel like I've earned where I'm at. And now, I'm reaping the rewards of like all the resilience, all the hard work, all the belief in myself that I had to have, because people love to see you lose.
Yeah.
People loved like, oh yeah, it's not working out for you. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. But like,
same way in this business, people love to make comedy video essays about how bad people's stand up is. Yeah. It's their favorite thing.
Really deep down, they're like, yeah, I knew he wasn't going to make it, or, you have to, I've been betting on myself, for the last decade, and I've earned where I've gotten to at this point. But I still have to, it could turn. There's major downswings that can happen at any point, and you have to be mentally prepared and handle them correctly, because it's not guaranteed to all work out. You gotta keep putting the work in.
Amen, brother. All right. Hey, we did not do a clip last week, so I think we should just sneak one in real quick.
Let's do it.
Let's get in there. I guess we do a quick one. I think this is perfect.
This is a tournament, not a cash game.
Let's go full screen on that thing. All right. This is a tournament. I think you already know more about this hand than I do, so let's let it rip.
I can just tell by the chips.
Oh, wait. Hold on. How can you tell by the chips?
Those are tournament chips.
I didn't know that there was a difference.
Yeah, they say no cash value on them.
Wow.
And I think I've played with those chips once before. I believe this is Poker Go Studios. This is their old tournament chip set. I don't know if they still use this set, but they're just recognizable over cash game chips. Mm-hmm. The cash game chips that they use in Vegas all kind of have the same color coordination with like the $100 chips, $1,000 chips. Mm-hmm. These are, you can just tell these are tournament chips.
By the way, it's kind of funny that these hands are up in particular, because I didn't know this when I was playing that house game the other night, but I was not aware that a pair versus two suited cards that are higher than what you've got. So like, for example, 10-7 suited versus 6-6, or let's even say, ace jack.
It's a fair fight.
It's you're in favor 51-49 with the low pair.
Yeah, you're a slight favorite because you don't have to hit. You don't have to improve your hand to win. And
I didn't realize that the odds were that close.
Yeah, it's like a flip, relative
coin flip.
But yeah, you definitely want like deuces over ace king offsuit.
But something to keep in mind, when you're playing. And you get down to a situation.
Yeah,
where
having a pair strong.
Yeah. All right, let's hit it.
Really good about it. Was that 13?
Now you've got like free chips.
I was about to use this, and I'm like, why just throw
By the way,
away.
the beard suits Ingranu so well.
Fun fact,
That was
Bren
a
Kenny
freaky laydown.
Bren Kenny lives in Austin. I just found out.
Really?
Yeah, he's got like $1 bazillion in cashes.
Is he the number one all-time earner?
I think so.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
How has he managed to fly under the radar so much compared to these other guys?
He hasn't flown under the radar in the poker world.
But in the real world, it would be kind of like a great example. Who's a perfect parallel? Nate Bargatze. He is kind of a household name, but he's not as famous as like a Rogan or a Kevin Hart or a Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
But he took home more money last year in live shows than anyone else on the planet.
That makes sense. Yeah. He's really liked by the Christian community. My family loves him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bargatze. He's a clean comic.
Squeaky.
Yeah.
Squeaky clean.
Yeah. The religious people don't like the cursing.
All right. So Ingranu hits a 6. Let's let it rip.
With the ace queen, but we move forward and Negreanu promptly rewarded as he now, Bryn's got the club draw, follows through for 11, and now on the turn.
Just behind somehow versus the button.
It's tethered more so to the ace-x combos than
touching upon for us. Bryn might just have an ace. Daniel hunting the board pair, Ali, and it does come in.
Oh my god.
oh, wow.
What a
But
card.
Check.
it is that ace.
74.
There are vulnerabilities.
Flush.
Just go for the
Why aren't we
call.
all in, buddy? Oh, that's not good.
Okay, so I think based on the way that you reacted to that, you liked him checking it to Kenny and then letting him bet.
Yeah,
but you would have
have to
re-raised
shove.
there.
Yeah, you have to shove.
Yeah, why wouldn't you re-raise his Ingranu there?
I think the only reason not to check shove the river would be
You think he's got ace something?
no. That's not the reason. The reason you don't check shove is the tournament. Like what stage of the tournament you're in. Like how many players are left? What's first place? If you're down, if there's a big huge pay jump, if you're down to like 7 people or 4 or 5 people, and there's a huge pay jump, and it's extremely important not to bust out at this point, then you just call. And sometimes they have ace jack, pocket aces, or jacks. You literally only lose to those hands, jacks, aces, and ace jack. And so you save your stack just in case they have those hands. But
Okay.
so yeah, the stage of the tournament is what matters.
That's extremely interesting.
Not yeah.
So if this is a cash game, you're Negreanu, you just hit the full house, you know that it, based on the action, it seems like he might have a flush. You're going
He played it.
shove.
He played it really well. Until just calling the river. I think your hand is just way too strong, and he has too many flushes. He has way too many flushes, and let's see.
I mean, what an insane hand though. It goes so many.
I mean,
Negreanu has the
he-
lead, loses it, and then gets it back.
He also could have like ace king, ace queen with the king of clubs or queen of clubs, where he's betting for value the whole time. But yeah, I think he missed out on some value with just check calling river there.
Yeah. If you got a full house, you gotta.
Yeah, it's why I prefer cash over tournaments, because you really have to think of other variables always when you're playing tournaments over just trying to make the max amount of money.
I mean, and it's different based on the tournament too, right? Like Ingranu was talking about playing in the World Series and playing to win, right? Where you're getting to the bubble days where it's like, all right.
Yeah, the different stages of the tournaments required kind of different strategies.
If you're a guy that's playing to say, hey, I played the World Series of Poker last year and I made money. If that's what you're doing, and you're getting to day 3 and the cut's about to come, and you're not whether or not you bust in the next hour is
you're not playing jacks or queens, like you're just playing aces or nothing, pretty much.
Hold out, baby.
Yeah, and that's just not fun poker for me.
No, I think you play to win when you play that tournament. I think
always,
it's cool.
Yeah, always.
All right,
man.
That was our ep. Guys, keep the questions coming in for next week. We love them and we need them. So keep them coming in.
Yeah.
And hey, if you made it this late in the episode, drop a comment saying literally anything at all. You can call me gay. I don't care. All right. Peace.
See ya.